Hey guys, it's Sean O'Connell, the managing director here at CinemaBlend, and recently we sat down with Quentin Tarantino on the Real Blend podcast to talk about lost projects, movies that he almost made, to find out why he didn't. But before we do that, go down and hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. We are posting really cool videos like this on CinemaBlend's YouTube page all of the time, and we don't want you guys to miss a single one of them. So we sat down with Tarantino to talk about his new film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but before we got into that film, we also talked about some lost projects and discussed some reasons why they didn't come to pass. The one that came up was V Vega, which was going to be a prequel of sorts to Pulp Fiction, and when he explained to us what it was going to be about, he also revealed why it didn't happen. So let's listen to that conversation right now.
There's a great scene in the movie between Timothy Olyphant, who was fantastic, and Leonardo DiCaprio,
God, he's so good,
where they talk about the roles, kind of the roles that got away.
Yeah.
And as fans of yours over the years, we've heard a lot of rumored Tarantino movies that were going to happen. They just, for one reason or another, didn't come to fruition. The one that always fascinated me was the Vega brothers.
Yeah, V Vega. Yeah.
Yes. I'm curious, how far into that, do you know what the plot was going to be? How far into that process of planning that movie did you get?
Yeah, that's the only thing I did know was the premise, per se. I don't think I took it far enough for a story, but I had a premise. And it would have taken place in Amsterdam.
Oh my God!
So it would have been during the time that Vincent was in Amsterdam, because
the car scene in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God!
Yeah, remember in Pulp Fiction, he's just come back from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
He's telling the whole story and everything.
They put mayonnaise on the fries.
Yeah, and he was like, he was running some club for Marcellus in Amsterdam.
Right.
And so he was probably there for like a couple of years. And so at some point in his 2-year stay in Amsterdam running some club, Vic shows up to visit him. Okay. And it would have been their weekend.
Oh my God.
That would have been
exactly
amazing.
What happens to them or what kind of trouble they get into, I never took it that far.
Yeah. Right.
But it definitely would have took place in Amsterdam, and it would have been Vic visiting him.
I would pay $1,000 to watch that.
And we have the ability now. I mean,
feature.
Martin Scorsese is doing like the
Irishman.
the Irishman.
I don't think so.
Fair enough.
I think there is a shelf life.
Okay. Fair enough.
A literal shelf life.
So there you have it, guys. Quentin Tarantino admits that he never really got past the plot stage of his film V Vega, and at this point now, both John Travolta and Michael Madsen are far too old to reprise their roles as those famous Tarantino characters. Also, it was pretty fun to hear Tarantino shoot down the idea that he would ever use digital de-aging the way that some characters do nowadays on screen, even though an actor that he has worked with intimately in Samuel L. Jackson recently played a much younger Nick Fury in Captain Marvel, but Quentin obviously has no interest in going down that route. The other reason why we will never see V Vega is because Tarantino has said he's only going to make 10 films, and even though he gave himself a loophole recently so that he could potentially make a Star Trek film, if he's going to make a 10th film to end out his career, it'll be something original and different. That's a very small portion of our interview with Quentin Tarantino, and you will be able to hear the full interview on our Real Blend podcast. You can download that anywhere you get your normal podcasts, but we also have a link in the description down below if you want to link directly to it. While you're here, again, go down and hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. It'll help you keep up to date with really cool interviews that we do on Real Blend and all of the great content that we put on CinemaBlend's YouTube page.